Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American brews and tunes. Shibbity beeby dow.
And we're back.
Hello, everybody.
My name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
And this is American Brews and Tunes.
Oh, yeah.
This is episode number 97.
97. 2 more weeks, and then it'll be episode 100.
That's right.
Can't wait. It's going to be great.
But we'll have to wait. Just name it a few weeks.
Yeah, true.
It'll be worth it, though. Hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, for us at least.
It's going to be great.
I don't know about for anyone else.
It'll be an historic moment.
I don't know. It will be a historic moment.
Is that how you say it? Do you say an historic moment or a historic moment?
Both are technically correct.
Yes.
People started using "an" because the British pronunciation for historic was historic.
Historic.
It's an historic.
An historic, yeah.
So that breaks up the vowel.
Not historic.
That breaks up the vowels. An historic.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing that, if you pronounce the H, it's a historic.
A historic.
But if you said an historic, no one's going to fight you.
Nobody's going to ever.
I mean, somebody might fight you if they really are crazy.
There are people who are crazy about grammar.
There are people who are crazy about everything.
True.
Just steer clear of the crazies. That's what we do in American Brews and Tunes. If we see a crazy, we say pass.
See you later.
See you later.
We say, get out of here. Leave, please.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what's not crazy. The album that we have reviewed this week, which is the Nashville Sound by Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a different album for what we normally review.
Yeah, definitely.
Dipping our toes into the country folk.
Yeah, country folk. I would say a little bit of rock and roll, too.
A little bit.
A little bit, but not too much.
Yeah. But before we touch on that, let's touch upon some beer, shall we?
Yeah. This is an interesting one.
Yeah. This is a brewery which we have never had on the podcast before, and their local Nashville brewery.
Yes.
The brewery is called Barrique, and it's spelled Barrique, almost like Baroque, but Barrique.
Barrique.
They do brewing and blending, so they blend a lot of fruits and I guess a lot of batches to mix things. They age things in various barrels. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. Lots of sours, lots of fruited beers.
Yeah.
This week we have one of their beers called the Wet Hop Bastique.
That's how you spell it. I mean, say it.
I think so. It's spelled Basique. Bastique.
Basic.
That sounds French. I don't know. I'm not a Frenchman.
Neither am I.
I'm not knowledgeable in parlez-vous les français.
All you have to know about the French language is that you do not pronounce any vowels or consonants.
I also know le petit fromage.
Ah, yes, the small cheese.
Yeah, at Kroger there used to be a section in the cheese department where it said le petit fromage, and it was like little cuts of cheese that were under $5. I think now they've switched it to some stupid thing like cheap cheese or something like that. Le petit fromage was so much better.
They got rid of the fancy French wording and just said
so dumb.
Nobody else knows what le petit fromage means, so
I do, and I got excited. I don't even speak French. Anyways, back to Wet Hop Bastique. This is a sour citrus ale aged on fresh Idaho wet hops.
Sounds interesting.
I think we've probably had a wet hop IPA on here before, but as a refresher, typically when you brew beer, you use hop pellets. Mm-hmm. It looks kind of like hamster food or fish food.
It literally does, yeah.
It's a compressed, like cylindrical, small tube shape.
Yep.
And they're probably, what's the size? Like half the size of a marble, maybe? Even smaller, probably.
Yeah, depending on the marble.
Very, very teeny little pellets.
Just if you've ever fed a hamster, it looks exactly like hamster food.
It's because hops don't last very long. When they're harvested, they're not fresh for very long, so they turn it. They get hop extract, and they use the hop flowers, and they put it into a pellet form, yeah, so that it will last.
It can last.
And you can still use it and get all the flavors. It's great. Yes. But what people do for wet hopping is when they use the flowers themselves, not the pellets. So it's fresh hops. You only have a small window that you can actually use these. And I don't think hops are native to Nashville.
Probably not.
I remember seeing on Barrique's Instagram page, they had posted where they got the hops from. It was probably from Idaho, since it says fresh Idaho 7 wet hops.
Okay, yeah.
But you could see this massive amount of just hop flowers everywhere, and it looked awesome. But I'm pretty excited to try this.
same here.
It's about to pop. We've
Got a cork in it.
So it's going to be a nice little.
Ooh!
I don't think, have we ever uncorked a beer in here before?
I think so.
I can't remember.
Maybe with some stone beer?
Perhaps.
Maybe? Or, yeah, I don't know.
But
Perhaps not, but I'm pretty excited to try this beer. I haven't had too many sours in my time, just mainly because I'm not the biggest fan of sours.
Yeah, sours can be a bit much sometimes.
It all really depends on the sour, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be done really good, done right, and it's got to be complex. Because a lot of it can just be tart and no substance.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Too many of them are just like, hey, we made a lemon sour or whatever. And then you drink it and it's just like, oh, that tastes like a Warhead candy. And it's not very good, and it's annoying. But this one, since it's wet hopped, I am pretty excited to try it.
It'll have some more stuff going on.
And see if it's maybe a little bit more balanced, a little bit less on the sour side. So we'll see.
Yeah. One of my favorite sour beers is the Victory Sour Monkey.
Yes.
It's based on the Golden Monkey, which is their, what is that? It's their Belgian triple.
Their Belgian triple, yeah.
So this is like a Belgian sour Belgian triple. It's quite nice. I like that beer a lot, and I don't have it too terribly often, but whenever I see it, I like to get it. I think it packs in a punch of like 10% or something, so it's you can only have like one of those, and then you need to sit down for a while.
Yeah, this one is only 6%, so it's not quite there.
Much more palatable, sessionable.
Yeah, definitely much more palatable.
I get a lot of like tartness on the nose.
Yeah, a lot of tartness on the nose.
Yes, tart citrus.
Not really smelling hops.
Yeah.
Very much.
I'm curious if we're going to taste hops.
Same here. It kind of just smells like a sour right now.
Yeah, it does. Color-wise, it kind of looks like an IPA. It's like a dark straw,
like
amber
dark
color.
Wheat. Dark wheat color.
And it's kind of hazy. I can't really see
Pretty
through
bubbly.
it. Yeah. It is.
Very carbonated.
It's not transparent.
No. But anyway, as we always say,
let's give it a cheers and try the beers.
And Tunes.
Down the Barrique wet hop hatch. I mean, it's immediately sour, but then there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, there definitely is. Like you get the overtones of the sourness, but
I think I did get a slight bitterness. I wouldn't equate it with wet hops. I could taste a slight bitterness right in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I'm left with citrus.
Yeah. The citrus is almost like, actually it tastes a lot like lemon.
Yeah. Not like the sourness, but like of the actual fruitiness of the lemon.
Like if you were to actually, like have a slice of lemon and just bite into that, it definitely tastes like that at the end. That's pretty nice.
That's a good beer.
I like it a lot.
Since it's summer right now, this is perfect. I think like a really, really good sour, or even the beer we had, I think it was last week, that Saison that was aged for a long time, the Brett Saison.
Yes.
That was tart and fruity, perfect for a 90-some degree summer day in Nashville.
Yeah, this would definitely be perfect.
And this is
if
great.
we were outside.
Yeah, I'd like to sit on a rocking chair just enjoying this. But I like this a lot. I really want to try some more stuff from them.
Yeah, same.
I mean, they're always posting pictures of harvesting like raspberries and all kind of
really?
fruit. Yeah, they
Interesting.
They just get like, I don't know if it's local, but they're always posting like the fresh stuff that they use in their beers.
Well, if you're in Nashville, check them out.
Yeah.
Barrique. Barrique. Brewing and blending.
It's right down the road from various artists.
Oh, is
off
it?
of Elm Hill.
Okay.
Right near where I used to work at Boar's Head.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, their former location. Check them out, though. It's this is a pretty good beer. I don't know if it's an accurate representation of what all their beers taste like. If it is, I'm on board. I think this is pretty good.
Sorry, I'm just taking like small sips and letting it sit in my mouth to try to pick out any hops.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm hoping as it warms up,
you might be able to. Yeah, it's not hoppy like I was hoping.
I feel like maybe it just kind of balances out the tartness.
Very well could
hops.
be. Yeah, because typically hops balance out sweetness, so maybe this helps with tartness.
Maybe.
All right, let's move on to the music. If the flavor profile of this beer changes if it warms up, which sometimes happens with good beers. We'll let you know. Otherwise, let's proceed.
Yeah.
Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, the Nashville Sound.
The Nashville Sound is
This
the
came
album.
out in 2017.
Yep.
It was the 6th studio album from Jason Isbell. It was the 3rd, however, to be billed with his band, the 400 unit.
Okay.
I think typically they're always his backing band, but he hasn't always put them in the name.
Oh, okay.
Which is strange to me. I'm sure there's an explanation. I just haven't seen it. I didn't maybe I just didn't do very good research. Whoops.
Who knows?
But this was a follow-up to his 2015 release, Something More Than Free, which won a Grammy for the Best Americana album.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the Nashville Sound also won the Grammy for the Best Americana album.
That's good.
He's on a roll. Maybe his next one will
It's already out.
Yeah, it just came out this year.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be, if there's Grammys, who knows?
I still have to listen to that album.
It's pretty good. It's different than this one, but similar in some ways.
Okay.
You just got to check it out to find out.
Yeah.
Anyways, this album is more rock influenced than his previous albums.
Yes.
Not to say that it's a rock record.
It's definitely not. Because you still have like violins and you still have slide guitar.
Yes. Very much southern sounding and folk sounding and country sounding.
And you still got like the like in most country, it's mainly like an overdriven like Stratocaster or Telecaster.
Yeah, it's not
It's
active
not like
pickups through lines
through like a line six
distorted
or like
line
a Marshall.
6. Yeah.
It's
Mesa Boogie, that's what I was looking for.
Sorry. what I'm saying is that this definitely is country.
It's got the tones of a country band.
Yeah, it's
overdriving.
It's definitely not rock and roll.
Agreed.
The way that people would normally classify rock and roll.
Here's Jason Isbell explaining with Rolling Stone how this album, like the rock sound of this album compared to his previous works. If I could write rock and roll songs on purpose, I'd do it all the time. But most of what I write comes out slow and sad because that's most of what I listen to. It was sort of a happy accident. I was just trying to make a record where my life is and write the best songs I can. It just so happened that almost half of this record were songs that were up-tempo and loud. That's what they wanted to be, so that's what I let them be. I never fight that.
Huh.
So he didn't intentionally do it. It just, that was where he was at musically.
Yeah, I like that.
Personally. And he let them be.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to slow them down or emotionalize them in different ways.
I like that.
Yeah. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, there is a note that he does write autobiographical stuff a lot, but he also writes storytelling stuff about characters other than himself.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to differentiate if you're not really paying attention, but there are clear times when he's definitely not talking about himself, and sometimes he is.
Okay.
Yeah. This album, I don't know what your first experience with Jason Isbell, but
this album.
Yeah, at my job, I work in music licensing, and I used to see his poster every day.
Oh, really?
And I always thought he was a hipster. Like I was like, he probably makes some hipster music. I have no idea because he wore like a slim fit suit and his hair was always slicked back with that cut. And I was making a trip to Grimes to buy like a Jawbreaker record or something.
Yeah.
And you know how they have the top, like a list of the top records that are selling?
Yeah.
His was number one for weeks and weeks. So I was like, yeah, maybe it's popular for a reason. I'll just buy it. It's like $10 for a CD. Why not?
Was that this album?
The Nashville Sound,
Sound? Okay.
So I picked it up. It was only a couple months after it was out. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have got it. And I was just like, maybe it's worth it. And I ended up quite liking it a lot.
Nice.
So I'm glad that I picked that up on a whim. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have. I probably would have slept on Jason Isbell more.
Well, you probably would have seen whenever Frank Turner was touring with him.
Probably. Maybe then I would have checked him out. Because usually when bands I like
tour with bands you don't know.
Yeah, I'll check them out just to see.
For sure.
And sometimes it really pays off. This time, it did.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive in, shall we?
We shall.
Track number 1 is called The Last of My Kind. I gave it a rating of 3.5 bells. Jason Isbell's.
Gosh.
I got to get my rating system back. It's a great folk storytelling song.
Not sure. Maybe this is about himself.
I'm not. It might be partially. It's about like growing up in a small rural town and moving to the city. It sounds like he moved for college or something.
Yeah.
Maybe for music. Who knows? But he really doesn't fit in. Like he's tried the college, he's tried drugs, tried all kind of things, and it's not
working out for him.
He's really not fitting in.
It almost seems like he's telling the story of like the modernization of culture, I guess, and like he is more
in the past.
In the past, yeah. Maybe he feels like he's behind
Yeah.
Because he like talks about how the kids at college like laughed at his boots and laughed at his jeans.
Yeah.
And everything that he said was either funny or wrong.
It's not current.
Yeah.
Weird. I like the line when nobody here dances like me. Everybody claps on the one and the threes.
Yeah.
And the ones and the threes are the downbeats. And so you expect to clap on the downbeats, I guess, right?
Yeah, but normally you clap on 2 and 4. Right?
True.
Yeah.
So he's used to clapping the correct way, I guess.
On the 2 and the 4.
Probably because I'm just guessing he's used to dancing at like line dances or square dances.
Maybe.
And I imagine everyone just sitting there clapping and flapping their arms and
Flapping their
take your partner, swing them round, go and then do-si-do. Gather around this something. It's such an interesting thing that I've never really experienced, but I always kind of wanted to.
That's square dancing, right?
Yeah, where you got like the leader who's calling out the moves, and it's just, you got a live band.
It's like
I've never come from that. It's very different to me.
It would probably be kind of fun.
I think it would be.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I really like this song.
It's a really good intro to the album.
Yeah, for sure.
Mainly just vocals and guitar. It's a slower folk song. Well, mid-tempo folk, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to track number 2, which is my first recommendation.
One of the best songs
5
on the
out of 5 bells. The Cumberland Gap is what this is called.
Cumberland Gap. Yeah, this is probably this is the first song that I heard from this album. And I don't know if it's my favorite song on the album, but it might be.
It's up there for me. I remember the first time I listened to this, I was like, whoa. That's when the rock comes. This is the rock.
Yeah, this is where you hear that overdriven, I'm assuming, Telecaster.
Probably.
But it could be a Stratocaster.
Yeah, there's no pictures of guitars on the cover, so who knows?
But yeah, you get that classic like Fender, like more overdriven than country normally is, so that's kind of why I lean towards rock a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But it's got a great hook in the chorus.
Super
Maybe
good
the
hook.
Cumberland Gap just swallowed you whole. Yeah, I really like the vocal production on here too. Lots of reverb.
Yeah,
like
lots of reverb, but it's not like drenched in reverb. Though.
No, it's
pretty well spaced.
It sounds like live reverb, what you would hear at a venue.
Yeah.
It's done very well. This song's about like probably a coal mining town, because he references, I think, coal drying up at some point in time.
Yeah, he references his dad working in the coal mines.
So either that or like a poor town somewhere in the Cumberland Gap, which is typically around Tennessee, Kentucky, and Virginia.
Yep.
And how the area is depressed and the people really can't escape it. They can't escape the area or the poverty.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cycle. Like he talked about his dad wanting more than just mouths to feed, but he was stuck, and how everyone kind of follows that. And everyone who's there is just getting swallowed by the Cumberland Gap.
Yeah, it's almost like a bigger picture, like everybody has their own fate.
Yeah.
And if you're born in the Cumberland Gap, like you're just kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Is almost what he's saying, which I think is really interesting.
I like the line when he's talking about whatever that local dive bar is. I can't remember what he calls it.
Yeah.
The Viper Lounge or something.
Mustang Lounge.
Mustang Lounge. But he says, and if you don't sit facing the window, you could be in any town.
Yeah.
And that kind of sums up a lot of what he's saying there. It's just anywhere in the Cumberland Gap, they've all got that same bar. It all looks the same crowd.
Yep.
But really good song.
But yeah, that song is just so catchy.
It really is.
It's so good.
Moving on.
Yeah.
To track number 3, which I gave 4 out of 5 bells. The song's called Tupelo.
Tupelo. I like this song a lot.
It is good. They ease back the energy a little bit to a more country sounding song. There's violins. I think it's a violin that plays that motif, right?
I think so, yeah.
Or is it a slide guitar? I'd have to
I think it might be a slide guitar. Yeah. But this song is about him wanting to go back to Tupelo, Missouri. I mean, not Missouri, sorry. Mississippi.
Yeah. One of the M states that
I know nothing about. It was MI too.
Yeah.
MISS actually.
Missouri, is there a Missouri River?
Missouri River, yeah.
There's a Mississippi River, so you could have gone with either.
I just got my MISs mixed up.
Yeah. He's got lady problems and life problems that he's dealing with, and he just wants to go back to Tupelo or go to Tupelo.
Go to Tupelo. He says like once I get out of this hole, I'm going back to Tupelo.
Yeah. I think it's a grass is always greener kind of situation with what he's saying here.
Yeah, it does definitely seem like that.
There's a girl in Tupelo who he's singing about who
will treat him fair.
Yeah, but I think once he gets there, it's going to be the same situation.
Yeah.
What it sounds like. But this is a really good, really, really catchy song.
Yeah, this song is a really good it's
got
a really good song to appreciate his songwriting.
Yes.
And the way that they structure their songs. There's nothing like crazy or different about how they structure their songs, But the way the chord choice and how the melody flows from the verses to the chorus and then to the bridge, it just all works really well together. And the chorus is super catchy.
Yeah, there ain't no one from there who will follow me here.
There ain't no one from there that'll follow me there.
Yeah, very good song.
When I get
Moving on to switch up gears big time. The song's called White Man's World, and I give it 4 out of 5 bells.
I like this song a lot.
Yeah.
It's really good.
This song touches upon his recognized privilege of being white and being a man, which is pretty bold for a quote-unquote country artist.
Yeah,
I would say. Especially doing it in 2017 before all the 2020 stuff, where I hate to say this, but before it was trendy to talk about these things. And I say that because I'm a little jaded of seeing people do it who I don't want to say people are doing it for like PR, but I feel like there are certain groups that I won't name.
That's the whole reason why companies change their logo to rainbow during Pride Month.
Yeah. Is it real or is it just because everyone else is doing it and they need to do it?
It seems
too?
like a lot of not necessarily people, but companies are probably forcing it.
This wasn't the trend in 2017, and Jason Isbell didn't need to write a song like this.
Yeah,
but he did.
Yeah, it's pretty much sums up, I guess, the time that we're living in right now.
I agree.
Not like completely, but I guess from a white male perspective.
Yeah, I read some of the notations where they cited some interviews, and he's saying this is not a place from white guilt, but him just needing to put himself in check, because if you don't, then
nobody will.
Yeah. But it's really, really pretty good.
It's almost kind of bluesy.
Yes.
In a way.
It's definitely bluesy, and it kind of stands out on that sound.
Yeah, it does.
And I think at the beginning of the song, he kind of talks about his ignorance to it, because he's talking about how his daughter's going to grow up to do whatever she wants until his wife corrects him. Yeah. He also talks about his wife. He says, Mama wants to change that Nashville Sound, but they're never going to let her, because his wife in real life is a musician as well.
Oh, really?
I think she does some solo stuff, but she's also in his band.
Okay.
But he also talks about Native Americans telling racial jokes and regretfully laughing.
Yeah.
But touches upon a lot of things that you wouldn't expect from this kind of music.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I first heard this song, I was like, oh.
Yeah, same here.
It was like the one line that you were just referencing, I'm a white man living on a white man's street.
Mm-hmm.
Got the bones of the red man under my feet.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how he wishes he wasn't one of the guys.
Yep.
How telling racially sensitive jokes, and it's really interesting. But my favorite line from the song is the chorus, when he talks about what is it? Hold on.
Yeah, while he's looking up the chorus, I just like the ending a lot, where he says, maybe it's the fire in my little girl's eyes.
Yeah.
And I think he's maybe referencing that she's got it. He thinks she's got the drive to maybe overcome some of these things, or that he's hopeful for her. But either way, I just really like how he touches upon that as the closing. Maybe it's the fire in my little girl's eyes.
Yeah. So I got the lyrics. The chorus is very relevant to today. He says, there's no such thing as someone else's war. Your creature comforts aren't the only things worth fighting for. Still breathing, it's not too late. We're all carrying one big burden, sharing one fate. So your creature comforts aren't the only things worth fighting for just reminds me of all the people who are like, I want a haircut. Like during this during the pandemic.
Yeah, there are other things.
There are other things that are bigger than that, bigger than your creature comforts that you're wanting to maintain.
Yeah. Lots of social justice in this song. Very, very well done.
Yeah, I agree. Moving
on to my favorite song on the record, which I recommended and gave 5 out of 5, Jason Isbell's.
You should have given it 6 out of 5.
All right, 6 out of 5, Jason Isbell's. This song's called If We Were Vampires.
Probably the best song on the album.
I'd agree. Maybe his best song in general. I don't know.
Maybe one of the best songs ever.
Slow acoustic song, super poignant.
Yeah.
It's a very sad love song talking about how he and his wife only live for a while, as everybody does. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got a finite amount of time. And it's in contrast to the cliche thing. It's usually like we're in love and
it's going to last forever.
I wish we were eternal, or I wish we could spend the rest of the world together. Like, we're
Yeah.
going to be together forever.
Yeah.
This is saying if we were together for forever, or as he says, if we were vampires, we wouldn't have to worry about dying, and really things would be
And
pointless.
There's
no urgency.
It wouldn't mean anything then.
Yeah, so he says maybe time running out is a gift, and that's pretty much the theme of the song. So he's got little moments, like a little amount of time to share these moments with his wife. So every moment counts. Like he says, if we're vampires, blah blah blah, like I wouldn't feel the need to hold your hand.
Yeah.
So even something as small as holding your hand wouldn't be as important if they had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really nice song, and the chorus really gets me every time, because he talks about knowing that this can't go on forever. Likely one of us will have to spend some days alone. Maybe we'll get 40 years together, but one day I'll be gone, and one day you'll be gone.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad.
It's like, but I don't know.
But
It almost is happy.
Like, yeah, because he's saying, like, I need to take every moment now. Because
Yeah, he's saying, like, because we don't have forever, that's what gives life meaning. That's what gives our love meaning.
Because time running out is a gift.
Yep.
Yeah. Really good
Just
song.
a fantastic song.
If you only listen to one song, check this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Cumberland Gap.
Yeah. I wanted this, if we were vampires, to be my first dance, but Becca said no. She said too sad.
Too sad.
I could see that,
It
though.
would be a really good first dance song,
But
in my opinion.
I feel I do too, but I feel like a lot of people listening would be like, oh. In the audience would be like, this is sad. But I would be like, it's happy, though.
It would be giving them anxiety.
Yes, it would, which brings us to our next song, which is aptly titled Anxiety. I gave it 5 out of 5 bells, and it's
Great song.
my next recommendation.
Anxiety.
How do you always get the best of me? We're back with the rock here.
Yeah.
They pick up the tempo, they pick up the energy, and this song starts off and surprise ends with that jam.
Yeah.
Down, 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 down. It's just like such a jam, and it just makes me want to.
Just like pump your fist.
Yeah, I was surprised by this
Yeah.
one when I heard it the first time
Same.
as well.
When I first listened to the album, I was like,
I was surprised by the rock, and then I was surprised by the lyrics.
yes.
Because, again, in popular quote-unquote country music, I don't think you hear anything about, like, anxiety or, like clinical depression.
Mental health, yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's talking about here. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's his personal struggle or if he knows people with it or whatever. I'm sure he has his anxieties. But this song talks about how debilitating it could be. Mm-hmm. Even if with your lover sleeping next to you, he's wide awake and he's in pain.
Yep.
It's such a good song.
Yeah, and just another good showcase of his ability to write a really great melody that works well.
Yeah.
You know.
I just like how when the music, like that jam at the beginning comes out, it's straight into the chorus, which is a cool way to arrange the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very unique arrangement for this song in general. If you're looking at song structures, this is a different one.
Yeah.
But well done. I love this song. Check it out.
Definitely.
Moving on to track number 7, which I gave 3 out of 5 bells. The song is called
Molotov.
Molotov.
I like this song a lot.
Strange, slightly bluesy vibe.
There are some very interesting chord choices in this song.
Yes, but it has a great melody.
But I think that makes it very unique.
Yeah. This song's about growing up and getting married. And in the beginning, he's talking about all like his wild dreams he had to give up. But in the end, he also realizes that she's given up dreams too.
Yeah.
I broke a promise to myself.
Made a couple to a brown-eyed girl.
Yeah. So he's realizing that while he gave up his promises, he's made some bigger ones.
Yeah.
So you might think it's like the sadness of your dreams that never were, but I think he's realizing that we've sacrificed together for something bigger.
Yeah.
And it's really a nice song. Weird vibe though. Do do do. That like guitar motif is so strange.
Yeah.
Very unique sounding.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's a good one. Moving on to another strange sounding song.
Yeah.
This song's called Chaos and Clothes. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 bells. And though he is currently caught up in scandal and is potentially a problematic person, I haven't looked into it too much. This song is a helpful message to Jason Isbell's recently divorced friend, Ryan Adams.
Oh.
So it's specifically written to him
Okay. Interesting.
during one of his dark dark times of being
Ryan Adams.
divorced.
What else was he in?
So he was a solo artist.
Oh,
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any of his songs. I know he's pretty popular with like Americana rock, I want to say. I know people love him, but also he's, I think, in some weird scandals with being somewhat abusive or girls. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, and I'm not going to comment on it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, neither have I.
There's been stuff in the news that I am not knowledgeable about. So just saying that's there. Anyways, this song is basically just guitar and vocals.
Yes.
It's got such a weird vocal doubling effect on here. It's like the first time I heard it, I was really thrown off. I was like, I don't like this. I didn't like it the first time. It grew on me because there's some weird blues notes. You're in the fight of the death, my friend. Yeah. And those. Yeah. I'm like, he's going to go pirate, but no. It's that blues note. The blue note, I think is what they call it. I think.
Is it the tritone? Is that the blue note?
I don't know. Who knows? But it's a really cool note.
Yeah.
And it's. If you're in a dark place trying to struggle through something, you can take the themes from the song and apply it. Yeah. It's vague enough that you don't have to attribute it to Ryan Adams. You can take it for your own struggles. Good song though. It's pretty cool. Moving on to the penultimate track. The song is called "Hope the High Road." I give it 4.5 out of 5, and it's an honorable mention.
Oh,
yeah. Another rockier songs.
Yes.
That overdriven guitar is back. And the melody is fantastic.
Is this the do?
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
Last year was a SOB.
Well, this came out in 2017, so he's talking about 2016.
Oh, you're right.
Which was the election of Trump.
Okay.
But he also talks about it was a bad year for everyone we knew.
Yeah.
In 2016, we lost Prince, David Bowie, Leonard Cohen, Merle Haggard, and way more.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That was a bad year for music.
Yeah, I really like the way he delivers that line, though.
Yeah.
Last year was a ton of a...
Yeah, it's so right here. I'm like, so is this year. If only you knew what was coming, Jason Isbell.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I love this song. He gets a little self-referential here in a good way when he says, I've had enough of the white man's blues. I've sang enough about myself. Yep. So if you're looking for some bad news, you can find it somewhere else. Because that's him talking about how this record is a little different.
Yeah.
And I think after that he talks about being stuck in a ditch, which is a reference to one of his older songs. But I don't know the song, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Gotcha.
I'll dive into his back catalog some more and
yeah, I'm definitely going to as well.
Samesies. There's also a great guitar solo in here. Really, really good guitar solo.
Slide guitar.
Yeah, great tone. It's just fantastic.
Yep.
Moving on to the last song on the record, which I gave 4 to 5 bells. This song is called Something to Love.
This is a good song to end it on.
Yes. And just as this album started with a more traditionally folky song, it ends with one. And I'd say this is probably the folkiest songs. Definitely it's got the fiddle, acoustic guitar. It almost has it start of like You Are My Sunshine, the guitar like playing. Almost when it comes in.
Yeah.
I almost go there and then the song changes.
This song is basically about how if you're kind of struggling in life or like kind of searching for direction, he's basically saying like just find something that you love to do and do it.
Yeah.
Because that'll help you through a lot of dark times.
And more specifically, at least a lot of people have said this is written for his daughter as advice.
Oh, okay.
He had a brand new daughter around this time.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The chorus is, which I think is the theme of the song, obviously. I hope you find something to love, something to do when you feel like giving up. A song to sing or a tale to tell, something to love, it'll serve you well.
Yep.
Very nice song.
Something to love, it'll serve you well.
And he has kind of like a sequel type song written to his daughter on the next album. Perhaps we'll touch upon that at another time. Really nice song. I really like his follow-up album, Reunions. Check it out if you want to, or don't.
Yeah.
But I would recommend checking it out. Yeah. What do we know? We're not doctors.
No, we can't write prescriptions.
We can write them, but they aren't legal. We can't legally write prescriptions.
We can only give recommendations for music and beer.
Yes.
Because this is American Brews and Tunes.
Yeah. Great album. This beer's pretty good.
Just,
any flavor changes that you notice?
Not really, to be honest. Let me give it one more try.
Still solid. I mean, it's got that nice tartness. It's still not overbearing.
Yeah.
I still think there's a little bit of a bitterness in the middle, but it's not what I would expect from a wet hopped beer.
There's definitely a bitterness in the middle. I think you're right. But it's not. I wish it was just a little bit more powerful.
Agreed.
A little bit more present.
Yeah.
In the body of the beer. But
for all we know, maybe
good,
if we had tasted it without the hops, it would have been so overpowering.
True.
Like, bitter,
Exactly.
tart-wise. Yeah. So maybe they got the perfect balance.
And this was bottled on 4/22/20 of this year. So maybe if you had it like right when they bottled it, maybe it would taste different.
Perhaps, yeah. Because hops are usually once you brew a beer, I think if you want the freshest hop flavor, it's got to be within 3 or 4 months of bottling.
Yeah,
something along those lines. But this is also aged for a long time.
Overall, it's a good beer though.
Yeah,
and overall, a fantastic album.
Looking forward to the next 2 episodes. I am going to recommend an album for you by the band Boxcar Racer.
Yes.
A side project of Tom DeLonge and Travis Barker of
only album.
Blink-182 fame. And it's the self-titled record, their only release. It's definitely, I think it will bridge the gap from Blink's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and their untitled album.
All right. I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. What shall I listen to?
And, you're going to be listening to Remo Drive's 2019 album, Natural Everyday Degradation.
Oh, interesting. I am somewhat familiar with the band. I've listened to their first record, which I believe is called Greatest Hits.
Probably.
Isn't that quite a title for your first record?
Well, what is Sum 41's record?
All Killer,
No Filler.
Yeah. But that's not their first record.
Oh, still, even to name any album that, it's kind of.
But it also might be true because a lot of times they'll talk about how bands' first records can be their best.
Yeah.
Because they've had a lifetime to write those songs.
Yeah.
For the sophomore album, they've got,
maybe
a year or 2?
Year and a half, maybe?
Yeah. So it's...
True. That's a good point.
You don't have the pressure.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Boxcar Racer. I like Tom DeLonge.
And Travis Barker
as well.
Yeah, so I think you'll like it.
I'm excited to listen to it.
I'm excited to check out Remo Drive because I've liked what I've heard from them before, so we'll see. Yeah, that'll be episodes 98 and 99, and following that is episode 100. We'll have some fun stuff going on for that.
Yes, we will.
You'll know as soon as we know. Psych, we already know. Anyways, hope that you guys liked the episode. If you want to give us questions, comments, give us an album to recommend that we review, hit us up on any of the social medias, American Brews and Tunes, or you can send us an email at americanbrewsandtunes@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
finish this beer.
Let's finish this beer, shall we? As we always say on American Brews and Tunes, shibbity-pee-poo-doo! Down the episode 97 hatch. Once again, my name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
Don't fall asleep on the subway!
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity